Good evening, everyone. Today we will be discussing the role of SBRT for recurrent and the metastatic prostate cancer. So, in this presentation, we will see how we define recurrence and how we define metastatic disease. Then, briefly, we will discuss the general treatment of these conditions and with a focus on SBRT, obviously, and some what is the evidence for these treatments and what are some ongoing trials. And in the end, briefly, we will see the techniques.
Dr. Pasricha, your slides are not moving.
Uh,
इसको प्रेजेंटेशन मोड में कर लो राजेश।
हाँ, I think वो presentation board में करते हैं तो वो freeze हो जाता है।
अभी वो भूमिका बना रहे हैं ना।
Is it moving now?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So let me do the full screen and then see. Now, is it moving? Our slides moving now?
No,
Sir.
not moving.
So okay, let me go directly into the presentation mode and then I'll share. Probably last time also this problem happened. Okay, just moment, please. Give me a moment. I'll see. Yeah.
इसको प्रेजेंटेशन मोड में करके फिर स्टार्ट करो।
Yes. I'm doing it.
हेलो गौतम जी, नमस्कार।
नमस्कार पांडे जी, क्या हाल चाल है बॉस?
अरे बहुत बढ़िया भैया, क्या लुक है प्रोफेसर वाला यार एकदम।
प्रोफेसर साहब मेरे बगल में है सर। वैसे दोनों एक ही शहर में है।
अभी चल रहा है, अभी मूव कर रहा है।
Yes. आ गया पत्रिका साहब, yes.
But
Go ahead.
But it is not moving on my screen.
Sir, please double click. Please double click anywhere on your screen.
Yeah. Now it's moving. So in this presentation, we will define what is recurrent disease and what is metastatic disease. Some general treatment, SBRT, focus on SBRT, some evidence for this treatment, and a little bit about technical aspect in the end. So we all know that despite improvements in treatment and dose escalation and everything, a lot of people, they face biochemical failure, which we have recently now just in the previous section we have discussed quite in detail. And most of these patients are from intermediate and high risk category. And out of this biochemical failure, about 2/3 of patients who have got biopsy positive disease. And we have got various local therapies which we have just discussed, like radical prostatectomy, cryotherapy, brachy, and SBRT is obviously now coming into the picture. This also we have discussed very detail that 1996 ASTRO criteria for PSA failure, 3 consecutive tries. The date of failure was assigned halfway between the nadir and the first tries of PSA. But this definition had a lot of limitations, like it was not linked to the survival, and patient performed poorly, especially the hormonal therapy patients. And most seriously, it introduced bias into the Kaplan-Meier estimates, because you are assigning a date on the back date from after noting the 3 rises. So to overcome all these conditions, ASTRO and RTOG, they gave a combined criteria after doing a meeting in Arizona, Phoenix. So now it is known as Phoenix criteria. As we have shown, it is the rise of 2 nanogram above the nadir, and the date of the failure is the same date when is this per ml rise. So if we come to the metastatic disease, usually there are 2 kinds of disease. One is oligometastatic and one is polymetastatic. Oligometastatic disease is generally defined when the number of metastases is less than 5 and poly is more than 5. So the role of local therapies and SBRT is more in the oligometastatic setting and lesser in the polymetastatic. We will come to that also. So in oligometastatic setting, there are 3 groups. One is the de novo synchronous disease, when the patient present with the primary disease as well as few less than 5 metastases. De novo. These generally have a good prognosis as the disease is hormonal sensitive. Another setting is the oligorecurrent disease, when the primary disease is controlled and patient develop 1 or 2 metastases, new metastases. Again, this is a good prognostic group when the disease is hormonal sensitive. Although patient might have started on hormonal treatment due to biochemical failure, and later on we see 2 metastases coming up or 3 metastases coming up, and patient might have become castrate resistant also. Still, it is oligorecurrent disease, and still prognosis is quite better. And third category is oligoprogressive disease. It is a disease when it is a metastatic disease. You have treated, the disease is under control, primary is under control, metastatic is under control, but suddenly 2-3 metastases start progressing. You do a PSMA scan, it shows 1 or 2 previous lesion growing. Or it can be in the setting of a oligometastatic setting, or it can be in a polymetastatic setting. Controlled metastatic disease, sudden progression in few metastases. So this is a diagram which I was referring to clarify this concept. So we will see how can we treat the synchronous metastatic disease. So it is a curative setting. The aim is cure and the radical treatment. We have to give local ablative treatment to the oligometastatic sites. We have to give systemic treatment, and we have to add ADT plus the radiation to the primary prostate cancer. Very important, radiation to the primary prostate cancer, ADT plus systemic treatment, as well as the radiation to the oligometastatic sites. The evidence, what evidence we have for this treatment? There are two major trials which tell us that we should do like this. One is the HORO trial. It was a multicentric randomized study in which they took the primary cancers and they gave ADT. It was a hormonal sensitive metastatic patient they took. And when they did a subgroup, it was in an unplanned subgroup analysis, they showed the overall survival benefit with patient with had a lower disease burden of metastasis. That is the fewer number of metastases. In these patients, they gave radiation to the prostate as well as to the metastatic site. And an unplanned analysis, they showed an overall survival. Same question was again answered by Stampede trial, but Stampede trial, what they did a planned subgroup analysis for a low metastatic site, less than 3 metastatic sites. And in this setting, they gave radiation to prostate, to the metastatic site, as well as the systemic treatment. And they showed again overall survival benefit, and the failure-free survival also increased in this setting. So the data from these two trials were combined, and a meta-analysis was published in 2020 by the name of StopCare. And it very clearly told us that there is around 7% improvement in 3-year survival in men with less than 5 bone metastasis if you give radiation to prostate and to the metastatic site. So a low volume disease, both prognostic and predictive for the benefit of radiation. So radiation is the has a primary role in the management of de novo synchronous oligometastatic disease. Now we come to the oligorecurrent disease. So obviously the systemic treatment is there. Multiple choice. We have chemotherapy agents like docetaxel, cabazitaxel. We have newer hormonal agents like abiraterone and enzalutamide. Another option is the tumor vaccine by name of Sipuleucel-T. And a new nuclear medicine drug has come, which tags monoclonal antibody with radium-223. Here in this setting, the SBRT added to the systemic treatment has been shown to delay the start of second hormonal treatment. That is, the SBRT is delaying the systemic progression. Very important point. It has been postulated that combining of SBRT in the setting of oligoprogressive disease also prolongs the overall survival. So, what is the evidence for these claims? Let us see. So, along with the SBRT, there are other options available to us, that is RFA, cryotherapy, and they are all, and various studies have combined these therapies, these options also. And all these therapies, they are clubbed under a new paradigm which has come, that is metastatic directed therapy in the oligometastasis setting, where the local treatment is important, systemic treatment is important, and the treatment of the metastatic site is equally important with various options. But here today we are focusing on SBRT only. So the evidence for in oligorecurrent setting, we have got two major trials which are single arm trials. One is PopStar trial, another is the Transform trial. Both of these trials have taken, one trial has taken lesion less than 3 metastatic sites. In another trial, there are less than 5 lesions were taken, and they gave SBRT to the metastatic site, that is the metastatic directed therapy MDT. In PopStar trial, they showed the excellent local progression-free survival of 93%. Very, very low toxicity, only like grade 3 toxicity was 1%. In Transform trial, the endpoint was different. They wanted to show this fact that whether the addition of SBRT delays the second line hormonal treatment or the systemic progression is stopped or not. And definitely around 60% of the patients at the 2 years old did not require any second line treatment. So there are other 3 major randomized phase 2 trials which add to this evidence in oligorecurrent setting. First is the STORM trial, published in December 2017, 62 patients randomized between the surveillance only versus the metastatic directed therapy. And metastatic directed therapy was in form of surgery and SBRT, but major group was of SBRT, that is 25 patients. And they again showed 21 months of survival with adding of metastatic directed therapy. And only 13 months if you are just observing and doing surveillance at the end of 3 years. Second randomized phase 2 trial is Orilog study, 54 patient, and again lower metastatic setting, less than 3 metastasis, diagnosed by CT, MR or bone scan. Again, at the decrease in the progression at 6 months, 61% if you don't give any therapy, and versus 19% only if you give radiation to the metastatic site. So the total consolidation with the SBRT was associated with improved PFS and distant metastasis-free survival. Third study of phase 2 randomized study, that is the SAVOR Comet trial, and it is one of the strongest evidence. 99 patients taken, although a number of they took all the metastatic patients, and the prostate cancer had only 16 patients in this study, and they treated with the standard of care for disease specific standard of care plus standard of care plus SBRT up to 5 lesions or metastatic lesion. Again, median overall survival 41 months as compared to 20th month, almost double. Local control with the SBRT was 75% as compared to only 49% in a patient who did not got any RT. So these are 3 major phase 2 randomized trial, 2 single arm trials. They have all firmly established the role of SBRT in the oligorecurrent setting, along with the RT to the prostate. And there are some ongoing trials. We want to see when now we are questioning this thing that if it is a curative disease with few metastases, shall we treat more? Shall we give full dose to prostate and as well as full dose for all the metastatic sites with BED more than 100? So this is question which is now being tested, and the answer we will get by the RM of the SAMPLE trial, which was opened in 2020, and also another trial, similar trial to treat all the metastatic site to full dose along with the prostate. That is the TED trial, which is going at Johns Hopkins, and probably it will get completed in 2024. So now coming to oligoprogressive disease, that is the polymetastatic disease, and some sites showing the progression. So here the prognosis is worse because most of the cases are hormonal resistant. The volume of controlled disease and interval of development of oligoprogression, they are a very critical factor in determining the prognosis and who will benefit with the addition of local therapy to the metastatic site. So in this setting, another trial which is going on is a TRAP trial in UK, which is testing the role of SBRT in the polymetastatic setting, that is the oligoprogressive disease. Here they are investigating the use of SBRT to 1 or 2 lesions in the patients who are on the second generation hormonal therapy after the progression. So the study is completed at Coral at the end of 2021, and probably we'll get the results this year itself. So in future, people are trying to see what best we can do. So there's a new trial, new approach, which is the ARREST approach. That is, you safely treat whatever is treatable along with the prostate, along with the metastatic site, and to a maximum dose. If there are 10 metastases, you treat 10. If there are 8, you treat 8. Now, because till now we are talking of only oligo sites, like less than 5. But this trial says that, this theory says that you treat whatever is possible to treat. So this is a trial which is still in the phase 1 phase, and it is started in 2021. And in coming times, we will come to know whether this aggressive approach is useful or not. Now coming to the local recurrence, very important, which we were discussing the panel discussion also. If the local the local recurrence is after the surgery, then it is easy to take a decision. You can add radiation and versus observation. But if the recurrence is after radiotherapy, and that is the problem we were facing in the panel discussion also, what options we have? Observation, radical prostatectomy, brachytherapy, cryo, HIFU, and most of us are not familiar with the cryo and HIFU, and even brachy is available at very few places in India. So only even surgery is a difficult thing in this setting. So whether the SBRT has any role in this, NCCN doesn't recommend re-irradiation using the SBRT. But in last 5 to 6 years, a lot of studies, single arm, single institutional studies, short studies are published, which shows that it is possible with acceptable toxicity. Based upon all these single arm studies, a meta-analysis again published in 2020, which showed that you can use SBRT for treatment of local prostate disease as a re-irradiation, and it says that it is an emerging technique. Toxicities are reasonable, but further prospective studies are required with longer follow-up. Then only we can think that we can take up SBRT for treatment of local recurrence in the prostate as a re-RT method. Till now, till that date, we have to be cautious And I hope in coming time we will get this answer whether we can treat it with SBRT, the local recurrence or not. Nodal recurrence is a different scene. Although if the local recurrence, the nodal recurrence is in the pelvis, then also the local RT, the conventional RT using elective treatment of the nodes plus the boost to the involved node using SIB is indicated. Here also the people have used SBRT as a modality, but again, the guideline doesn't recommend. It says that you can treat the conventional method using elective nodal radiation plus SIB boost to the involved node. But if the nodal recurrence is outside the pelvis, it's a different scenario. Depending on the side, you can use SAVR and you can treat with the SBRT and get good results. Again, now coming to the little bit of technical aspect. The stereotactic radiation, as we know, it's a external beam therapy, which is which delivers very high dose, VAD more than 102 in very few fractions, and it has got a very large gradient between tumor and the healthy tissue, and it's a very high precision technique which requires image guidance, stick to mobilization as per the site mandate. The tumor should be covered, the metastatic site of the tumor should be covered with 50 to 80% isodose, and there should be good PTV coverage, and there should be sharp fall off in the normal tissue. The setup margins depend upon the institutional practice, but usually it is between 2 to 5 mm. People treat at the interval of 48 hours to 96 hours, depending on the fraction size. But some people, some institutes who have quite a lot of experience, they even treat daily. There are certain sites which are no-go zone basically for SBRT, like structure metastasis averting to very critical structural expanding cord, or to the pulmonary hilar region, or very large tumor where organ at risk are getting those. So these are the general principles of SBRT which are applicable to prostate as well as to the other metastatic sites also. So these are the technique. Earlier, when the SBRT started in the prostate, it was mainly the CyberKnife which was being used. But since 2012, a lot of people are using the Rapidoc and the Plynec and the Linac-based radiotherapy. Plus, recently the tomotherapy is also being used for the for SBRT of the prostate and the metastatic sites. Two studies have published recently which have compared the CyberKnife, the Linac-based radiosurgery as well as the tomotherapy. And as you can see that if you don't have a CyberKnife, you need not to worry about it, because Rapidoc and the Linac-based radiosurgery is equally good, in fact better. It is giving lesser dose to the bladder and rectum, this study says. So CyberArm becomes a fancy tool only, and if you have a good Rapidoc and a good physics backup, you can and a good immobilization, you can use give good results even if you don't have a CyberKnife. Even the Rapidoc is better than using tomotherapy. This is what study says, and same results has been given by an Indian study from Kidwai, which again says that Rapidoc is better for treating of SBRT prostate than CyberKnife or the tomotherapy.
Dr. Rajesh, please try to conclude.
No, these are the dose constraint, and toxicity is very acceptable. Even the acute and late toxicity, both grade 1, grade 2 is major, grade 3 is only 0 to 1 or 2%. And in the end, I would like to summarize that SBRT is very important part of treatment option in recurrent and metastatic disease. Post radiotherapy, local recurrence, SBRT not indicated, lymph node disease, you can treat by SBRT if it is outside pelvis. Metastatic static synchronous oligo and oligo-recurrent oligo-progressive disease, you can add SBRT to the local prostate RT as well as to the metastatic site. You can get good progression-free survival. Toxicities are manageable. The limitation is that still we don't have an optimum dose vaccination schedule, and coming time will answer this question. Thank you very much, and I will be very happy to take any